Hi, I'm Mike with Become a Better Guitar Player, and today I'm going to show you how to change strings on your guitar and do a little maintenance in the process. And if you stay to the end, I have a good pro tip for you, okay? So let's get started. So the first thing you do is you loosen up your strings till they come off of the tuners. Then I gather up all these old strings here and these curly things on the end. You don't want to pull that through your guitar. So I take my clients, I cut them off. All right, just like that. Very important, put these in a bag, because when you drop them on the floor, they're very hard to find again. Then you can take all these straight old strings here and take them out of your guitar. Mine, I poke through the top, and then they pull out the bottom just like that. Okay? And I twist them into little knots. They all stay together. I put them in the trash, just like that. Okay. Then I take a rag and some guitar polish. And I spray it on my rag. I don't spray it all over my guitar. Then I dust it off. Some people like their guitars to look old and have fingerprints, stuff like that, but I don't. I like to wipe them off and keep them nice and shiny, okay? All right. And if you have an oil finish on your guitar, usually people have them on the top of the neck or the back of the neck. You want to put a little furniture oil, and I use this lemon oil. And I just put a little bit on the tip of my finger, like this. Okay. And this guitar, it needs it on the back. Okay. I put a little on the top like that. I like to rub it with my fingers so it gets a little warm, you know, like that. Okay, then I take my rag again and I wipe it off like that. And most of that'll absorb into the wood, whatever's left on the top. From there, you're going to want to open up your package of strings. Now, I use this brand of strings. There are lots of different brands out there. I've used this brand for years, and on my electric guitar I use the highest string is a 9 gauge. My lowest one is a 42, and that's this particular Ernie Balls set. They call them 9s. That's what I use. So lots of different sets, lots of different sizes, but this is what I use. So I open up the package. And I lay them out by size, so I put them on in the right order. The biggest ones are the lowest ones, and the smaller number are your higher strings. So, and I can turn my guitar upside down just like this. Okay. I take my lowest string, it's going to go in here. That's where my low E string goes. When you unwrap these, you want to straighten them out without kinking them. If you put a bend in them, it kind of messes them up. So then that one slides through there. Then my A string. The D string here. My G string. B string. And then my high E string. And the smaller strings like this, you have to be a lot more careful when you unwrap them so that you don't put a little bend or a kink in the string, okay? They're very small. If you put a bend, they'll buzz on the neck like you have something wrong with your guitar. That, and they can break too, which you don't want to happen while you're playing. I pick it up and flip it right back over the way it was while keeping these strings all pulled up into it. All right, and I lay my strings over here to the side, okay? Then get my wire cutters, and I start with my lowest string, and I pull it up here to the headstock. Okay, so this string is going to go into this tuner. So I want to pull it 2 tuners or 2.5 tuners past that tuning gear. And I'm going to clip it right here. Okay. Then I take that string and I put it down in the center of the tuning gear like this. This is how they call them Fender vintage tuners work. Very common tuner. And you kink it over like that after it bottoms out, okay? Then you tighten it up. Now all the wraps on this tuning gear post, you want to go on top. It'll be wrapped around clockwise, but you want them to go on top of the wrap below it, because it's tapered, and that taper pushes the string down into the tuning gear. And what I like about these Fender tuners is there's no sharp end of a piece of string sticking out the other side of it. Okay, now I'm going to get my A string. I'm going to do the same thing. There's the tuning gear that it goes into right there. So I'm going to go up right past 2 tuners up, and I'm going to clip it right there. Okay, clockwise around it, and I start to tighten it up. Wraps are all on top of the first wrap that I put in there. Take my D string. D is going to go into that one, so I go down, there's D, and then so I'm going to cut it right here. Push it down to the bottom, kink it over, just like that. Now, when I get to my G string, see all these strings they're bound strings. This is just a wire, so you want to go a little farther up. So this is where the G string goes in. This is two tuning gears up. This is 3 tuning gears up. So I'm going to cut it a little further up like this. A few more wraps will help hold it into the tuning gear. And the bigger the string is, the less likely it is to pop out of the tuning gear while you're tightening it up. And some of these small ones are a little hard, but this one's not too bad. Oops, that one just popped. All right, take my B string here. So it goes in there. So there's 1, 2, 3 and a half right here. If you cut it off at first and it's a little too long, you can always cut some more off. If you cut it off and it's too short, you have to get another string. So that's air to the long side, I guess is what I'm saying. Okay. Okay. And keeping tension on this string, we'll keep it in the tuning gear. Okay, and now that I've got that one in there, this goes into this string tree right there, which holds it down into the tuner. And our last one. We'll want to make it about 3 tuning gears spaced past this last tuning gear. Important to keep a little tension on the string, that'll hold it into the tuner. Okay, once you've done that, take all these little pieces of string you've cut off and put them in a trash bag. Because if you drop them on the floor, you'll have a hard time finding them, okay? Then you tune up. When you tune a new set of strings, you might have to do it 4 or 5 times to get it to stay tuned. So get my E string tuned up. All right, and with a brand new set of strings, it's going to go out of tune real fast because you got to let the strings kind of get seated in here. So we'll have to retune it. But here's another thing I do. I like to take a pencil, do a little writing, a little pencil lead right there at the nut on the strings. That way they move back and forth across the nut without creating any friction. And then just kind of rub my finger across it like that. Okay, now let's tune it again here. Oops. And then after you do that, naturally you want to take and play some songs with it. You'll have to tune it a couple of more times probably, just because new strings stretch out a little bit. And that's about all there is to it. So now for my pro tip at the end. I like to always have an extra set of strings with me, whether I'm at home practicing or if I'm playing a gig somewhere, doesn't matter. You never know when you're going to break a string. It'll save you a lot of embarrassment if you have another string to throw in there. So yeah, hopefully you like this and you get something from it. Subscribe to my channel and we'll bring you more videos. All right? Thank you.